Welcome, everyone, to This is Jackson. I'm your host, Barry Rosenzweig from the Jackson School District. Today, the Run for Vets, a program about exciting day, and this is fantastic with our Run for Vets 2022, and I have the privilege and the honor to be with the principal of the Christa McAuliffe Middle School, and that is Miss Deborah Phillips. Principal Phillips, how are you?
Oh, very excited that we're able to bring our veterans back in person for this breakfast. It means so much to the kids and the veterans, I hope.
Well, it does. I've already been around and I've spoken to a couple of the guys, and one of the gentlemen that was here, of course there's women veterans as well here today, but I spoke to one gentleman at my table, and he was with his granddaughter, who is a student right here. And he was beaming. I'm telling you, he was so thrilled to be her veteran for today, to honor her, to honor him.
Well, we've made some adjustments over the history of this program. We used to do an after-school run. And just, with the events of the country going on and issues that we have, we decided to bring it in-house. So this year we did obstacle courses in our phys ed classes, and we did the run during the school day in phys ed. This way every student can participate. Right. They made their own shirts this year to really make them feel more connected to what this whole event is about.
It's absolutely fantastic. And we already, it's about 20 years that we are doing. Yes. It's maybe over 20 years.
So I think it is. And the meaning of this event for our kids to hear the history, the live history from people who went through it, who experienced basic training, who had to go overseas to defend our country and fight for freedom. You can't get that out of a history book. And you can't get that from someone that didn't have that firsthand experience. So we are going to keep running this event until no one wants to come anymore.
And I hope that I will keep doing the interviews and featuring on JTV your wonderful Run for Vets until forever, until I can't.
Oh, I agree. This is a wonderful event, and each year we try to make adjustments. And behind us, if you can see, we raised over 1,000 items of food for the food pantry at our local base to help our veterans when they come back and they're on base, to give some sense of assistance. That's our way of showing our appreciation. We're willing to do whatever we can to help our veterans.
Absolutely fantastic. And I was speaking with Principal Phillips just before we came on the air just now, and I was telling her how much appreciative the people are who receive the food at the base. It doesn't matter if they're young, Air Force, Army, Navy, whichever branch they're in, and serving in our mega base down here, which does feature Air Force, Army, and Navy personnel. When they're young soldiers, sailors, and so on, when they are making the least amount of money as young people before they get a lot of rank, they may have a family of 1 or 2 young children, whatever. It's hard for them to, and particularly in today's economy, to really survive and put food on the table. This is a blessing of what you have done through the students with their help.
Well, thank you so much. It's the little things that we can do to try to make their lives a little bit easier at home. We're grateful to do it. And, each year there's always a teacher that steps up and is willing to help organize this series of events. And Mrs. Hay and our team of teachers have done a fantastic job. So I want to certainly give them the commendation that they deserve for organizing this event.
Yes, because it does take a lot of work.
It takes a village. It does. It takes a village.
It does. That expression really rings true so often when you have a large event with so many moving parts. If you don't have help, it's not going to work.
It's not going to work, exactly. So we hope the veterans appreciate today. That was our goal. And, we will keep doing this for as long as we can.
Excellent. And thank you so much for your support right from the top. The principal of this beautiful and wonderful middle school, the Christa McAuliffe Middle School. And I know you carry on the tradition of Christa McAuliffe, who was an educator and the first woman educator astronaut ever.
Yes, she was. So, her phrase on our front wall in the main lobby is, "I touch the future," and that's what we're doing here today. We're touching the lives of the future.
How wonderful. We've been visiting with the principal of Christa McAuliffe School, Miss Deborah Phillips. And thank you so much again for everything.
Thank you. Thank you so much for coming.
Leadership. That's what it's all about. Leadership within a school, leadership within a community. Leadership is how things get done. Well, a project like this, with so many moving parts, needs a great leader to put it all together, coordinate, and still keep the goal in mind of educating our children and exposing them to the wonderful men and women who serve our country with dignity and honor, bravery, and wonderful patriotism. And the wonderful person here at the Christa McAuliffe School for this year is Vicki Hay. And Vicki, welcome to This is Jackson.
Thank you. Thank you.
And this is terrific. The breakfast was fabulous and the food was great. Everybody got to be introduced by either a family member or a student who adopted them just for the breakfast. It was really beautiful. And this year you've created a really wonderful set of programs and projects for the Run for Vets. Could you share that with everybody?
Sure. We tweaked it a little bit. We used to be after school, but we decided to make sure that everybody could be involved. So we started last week. All last week was a military-style obstacle course where we invited our vets to come in. So we had, at least every day, we had one vet come in and share their experience and help them, teach them how to do the Army crawl. And the kids had fun. They also competed for a first, second, and third place for each 6th, 7th, and 8th. So they will be getting awarded probably tomorrow with those, but they climb over a wall, they go through tires, and they have to get their whole team, and we teach them that when you are in the military, no one gets left behind. And you don't leave your brother behind. And if that means you have to pick up your brother and carry them to the finish, that's what you do. So they had groups of 4. They loved it. They were sweating. So they had a lot of fun. And yesterday, we put together 3 different events, and every kid in this school got to participate in the mile run, in the shuttle run, and a 3-man relay. And so we are just trying to tweak numbers and figure out who's first, second, and third. Again, we're giving out 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. And we told them they are running for you. They are running for the veterans. They are honoring our veterans that served our country. So, we brought everything to the school day instead of doing it after school. And then we finished here with a great breakfast, and we brought the numbers back. Because of COVID, we couldn't have everybody that we usually have. But, we had over 40 vets here today. So we're really excited that so many got to join us today.
It's wonderful. And I love the fact that you're also collecting food, and also the students created their own T-shirts this year. Instead of getting one T-shirt like we have behind us, the different T-shirts that we had, one T-shirt from one student, and they accepted that as the winning design, and that would represent the Run for Vets for that particular year. But now every student designs their own, which means they can put their own feelings and heart into that design.
Right. 2 weeks ago, we gave them the opportunity. The phys ed department has been great. They allowed them for the first 20 minutes of class. We designated a classroom. They brought in a white T-shirt. We had tie-dye all over the room. We had puffy paint. But they got that opportunity 2 weeks ago for the whole week to design their own shirt. And many of them you'll see walking around today, wearing their shirt proudly. So we decided, because we were bringing the Run for Vets to the school, not everybody could afford a shirt. So we thought, what else could we do? And we decided, hey, let's show our spirit for America and let them design their own shirt. And then when we met with you in September, we talked about what we can do. And you had brought up that our base is lacking food in their food pantry.
Yes.
So
Yes.
we just took the whole month and we worked together. Yesterday we were at 956 items, and the staff were able to wear jeans today if they brought in an item, and you are well over 1,200 items today that we are donating. So we are happy to help our military that are so close, and to help you present that donated food to them this week.
It's such a good deed. I can't even describe it, because they really do. The young people there who are serving, who in the lower ranks in the military, you don't make that much money. You're serving because you want to serve your country. And the money is not important, but they are in need, and this really is fabulous. And thank you for doing all that. And thanks to the kids. Thank you, families of our children here at McAuliffe. Thank you for permitting your child to bring food right here. It makes all the difference in the lives of these young military personnel. And could you tell us about the door decorations?
So the past month, all the homerooms have been hard at work creating a decoration on their door. So they have all different themes. They're all decked out, and they wanted to show their gratitude to the veterans. And we know how much you enjoy it, walking around and seeing all their doors decorated. So the veterans that are staying today are, when they're visiting the classrooms, we're asking them to take a look around and choose a winner from upstairs and a winner from downstairs. And they are going to win ice pops, the red, white, and blue American Bomb ice pops, as a prize for the winning upstairs door and downstairs door. So remind the veterans that are walking around today to make sure they keep an eye on those doors, and let's pick a winner.
Okay, and they can vote, and they'll get a chance to voice their feeling about it. Good.
Yes. And the winner is going to be chosen by our veterans, which is, nobody else. It's better for you guys to choose, because, they're honoring you.
I think that's fabulous. It's a wonderful program. It's so successful. We are over 20 years of doing this at the school. The only school that I know of that does this all-encompassing patriotic event. And it lasts for more than one day. It keeps the children's mind on the whole idea of the project of, I am an American. What does it take to maintain my lifestyle, my freedom? And that is all the veterans who do serve. And it's just wonderful. And today is a dual day, because it's not only Run for Vet Day with our breakfast and honoring veterans, but it's a day that's honoring the United States of America and the freedom that we all have. It's Election Day, November 8th, 2022. Election Day, our right to choose by voting. It's a very emotional, beautiful time. And Victoria Hay, if I may, Vicky, it is just wonderful what you do and what you've done to put this together. And I know, do you want to mention any names of some of those other teachers that really came in and helped out?
Yes, I couldn't have done this without everyone's help. Everybody stepped up. The guidance department were key. Karen Catanese that has been doing this event forever. She kept me afloat, and she was all in and loves doing this. And she actually said, "You'll see the reason why that she keeps coming back." There are so many other people that I would like to thank, but we don't have all the time. But Karen Karen Catney's was just key. Bridget Valgenti, Mrs. Phillips, our meetings constantly about tweaking it. We tweaked it this year, what we can do. The whole phys ed department, Kathy Lang, the phys ed department, helped run all the events and orchestrated how it was going to go down. So it was a great month of preparing for this, and I think the whole week of teaching the kids. Some of them didn't even know what a veteran was. So we started weeks ago, and we discussed this at length. We just started celebrating a good couple weeks ago with starting decorating the shirts and the rooms and the doors. So
Terrific.
It's been great.
Terrific. It's just such a success, and thank you so much. We've been with the overall coordinator for the entire Run for Vets, and that is Miss Vicki Hay, Victoria Hay, and she's with the phys ed department. She is a phys ed teacher right here at Christa McAuliffe Middle School.
Can
Thank
I give
you.
a shout out to the Homeschool Association?
Go for it.
The Homeschool Association was key. They donated so many items for today's breakfast and lunch, and they're here helping. And we couldn't have done that without them, especially their leader, Shannon Pazinko. She did a lot for us. So we really couldn't have done it without our parents.
Yes. Parents, thank you again. Parents come through.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's how the kids learn to give and to share of their time and expertise to help out in projects as well. Thanks, parents. Thanks, kids. Thank you, Vicki. Hey. We were speaking about the T-shirts, and until this year, every year they had an individual, singular T-shirt that they would actually, the staff here and the whole program would sell T-shirts to students, and the money would go to some organization that would help veterans. Well, this year they didn't do that. They had every student get more involved by creating their own T-shirt and wearing it to show their pride and their own individuality in how they would represent patriotism and honoring veterans. Well, here are some of the other shirts and all the different kinds of shirts that are here. And I love all the different kinds of representation. That was a cutie. Run Vets. I like that one. And each one is different because it represents the student who created the shirt. Now, there was a shirt from 2019, which was the actual shirt for that year, and they just painted on it and jazzed it up a little bit, so she did a good job with that one. And here's a nice little Run for Vets. One of the girls or guys did that one. There's all kinds of cuties here. There's a tie-dye version of the 2019. I like that with the splattered look. This one also, where they took 2000. Here's one of the shirts from 2014. So the nice part about all of these shirts is that students can show their own creativity along with their desire to thank a veteran. I like that very modernistic look of the American flag, and just this one alone is a very creative, nice T-shirt as well. And these are just a whole bunch of shirts that students did. So it's an interesting change, and one that permits every student to show their own individual representation of a way to have the Run for Vets be a part of their lives. Just a sample of some of the beautiful the classroom door work and decorations that the students have done right here for the Run for Vets. This one, of course, has a wonderful sampling of every one of the 6 branches of service. So this is terrific, including the newest one, the Air Force itself, the Space Force, United States Space Force, and of course the standard other 5, Army, Navy, Marine, Coast Guard, and Air Force itself. So there are 6 branches of service. Thank you for your, look at that, thank you, vets, for your sacrifices. A beautiful sample, a beautiful door decoration as part of Run for Vets. And right over here, just scoot over one more door. Look at this one. We've got the sample of a veteran. It says, thank you, veteran. And, of course, they are saluting. So another sample of the wonderful creativity and decoration of the classroom doors at the Run for Vets. The sound?
All good. Ready whenever you are.
All right.
Take one step back.
You don't have to salute. You can put your hand down.
Right there, you're good.
And no, you don't need to salute. Just look this way. You can turn a little bit. There you go. Just like that. Perfect. Don't move. Here we go.
Go ahead.
I have the pleasure of being with wonderful Christa McAuliffe students. We ran into the cafeteria. It's during their lunchtime, so I want to get a chance just to speak with them so then they can go and enjoy their lunches. But everybody, shall we give our patriotic salute first, and then I can talk with you. You ready? And it's called, when I say present arms, that means you come up and you give your salute. You ready? Present arms. Up. Hands up. Nice salute. And then order arms means you bring it down. Oh, the guys are good. I think they're almost ready to join the military. This is terrific. So here's what I need to do. I'm going to ask you a question about Run for Vets. And you just answer. You ready? Did you enjoy this, being a part of Run for Vets?
Yes.
What did you like about it?
I liked about that all the games you could do, and you donated the food. Like, I did it like almost every day, like 2 things each day.
Excellent. And the food you're giving goes directly to the families of service persons at Fort Dix and McGuire Air Force Base, and also our Navy base right nearby here as well. So it goes to good use. Wonderful. And your name is?
Ryan.
Ryan, okay. And you are?
Connor.
And Connor, did you enjoy the activities of the week?
Yes.
And what did you like the best?
I like the relay race.
Those are fun. And those always take a lot of cooperation, don't they? And you're cheering on your team member as well. Very good. And what else did you like?
I also like the shuttle run.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one too. The same concept, Now I'm going to have you 2 guys switch out and let the girls come over here. So you stand next to them. Come on down, ladies, and the guys will go back next to you. Okay, you are?
Amelia.
And Camelia, did you enjoy the activities?
Yes.
What in particular did you like?
The run a mile.
Oh, you're a long distance runner.
No, not really. I can't run for long, but I want to try.
And how did you do?
I was able to run the full mile.
Isn't that terrific? She learned about her own inner strength because she didn't think she could do the mile. You did it. Congratulations.
Thanks.
Super. That is really wonderful. Learning how to be able to have self-image. You have good self-esteem about yourself. You did it, and you tried it, and you made it. Thank you. Cool. And you are?
Ella.
Ella. And lots of things going on for the Run for Vets. And you did what? Anything? Did you participate in anything particular?
Yeah.
Did you do the in your gym class?
I did the mile run.
Oh, you did the mile run. Okay. And did you do the obstacle course in your class?
Yes.
And was that fun?
Yeah.
Was it challenging?
A little.
And how was the mile run? I know you did it, right?
Mhm.
And you didn't think you could, but you did. You did it. And how did you do with the mile?
I did good. I just was out of breath at the end, I guess.
Okay. And did you get a chance to talk to any veteran yet?
No.
Okay. Did they come to your classes yet?
No.
Okay. Because they go to some classes. I know I'm going to be leaving here in a minute, and I'm going to go to Miss Nickerson's class just down the street here, on this level. So we're going to go in there, and I'm going to share my service time with the students. Tell them what I did and all that kind of stuff. Good. Thank you. Don't go away. Just stay there so your parents can watch you on TV. This is JTV, so you're on. Okay, you are.
Kevin.
And Kevin's wearing one of the T-shirts from 2019 Run for Vets. And have you had fun during the past few days?
Yeah.
And what activity did you enjoy the most?
The relay race.
You like that? You're a runner?
Mhm.
Okay. I always wanted to be a runner, but I never got into that sport, activity. But I do exercise, and I use the treadmill a lot. But it's wonderful that you can do that. So you really probably ran pretty fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, he sounds like he is. He's a goer, right?
Yeah.
I'm proud of you. Good job. And thank you for wearing the shirt from a few years ago. Is that from one of your former brothers, your younger brothers, older brothers or something?
No, I just bought it in the thrift store.
Oh, excellent. All right, well, thank you for doing that. And you are?
I'm Mario.
And how did you enjoy the week that we've had?
It was super fun.
Yeah, and last week we did a couple of different things too. I was wondering, did you do the challenge of the obstacle course in your physical education class?
Yes.
How challenging was it?
It was pretty challenging. My solo score, I think, was 46, and my team score was 126.
Pretty good.
Because we beat a record. First it was 156,
Oh,
and then we got 126.
excellent. So you can prove yourself. I know I can do it. I give it my best, and I get it done.
The wall was the hardest.
Oh, you know what? We did a wall climb when I was in basic training, and let me tell you, yes, yes, with one word. Oh my gosh, that's funny, but I'm glad you did it. And you are?
Christian?
And Christian, what have you enjoyed about the Run for Vets?
I enjoy that there's a lot of vets coming here and to meet the military, the basic military.
Very good. Very good. And veterans are just people. I'm just a people. I'm just a person. But I'm a veteran, and I'm proud of it. I'm proud that I served. I'm proud that I put on the uniform of the Army, because that was my branch. And my dad was Army as well when he was a young man. And I'm glad to carry on the tradition to protect and defend our beautiful lifestyle and all the freedoms that we have here in the United States. You thank veterans for that, because they help maintain our ability to be free. And let me see, you are?
Katie Lynn.
Excellent. And what have you been doing during the week? What have you been involved with?
I did the mile run,
Oh, you did?
and I did the obstacle course and
Also. Wow. And what did you think about the obstacle course?
it was fun. The thing that was the mostly challenging was the wall.
Yeah, the run. Also, see, so she enjoyed it too, but it was challenging. So, yeah, that's a long distance, isn't it?
Yeah.
We sometimes don't think. You say, a mile. What's a mile? What's a mile? Until you have to run it.
Um, it, I was out of breath when I went at the end of it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a great challenge, and it's tough on the body, because your body can only just do so much. But thank you for working at it, and thank you for trying it. Come and scoot down just a little this way, and I'll get our last student over here. You are?
Quando Dingle.
Excellent. Excellent. And what did you enjoy this week?
I enjoy like running.
You're a runner. You're a runner.
Yeah, like a track star.
All right.
Like run like a track star.
All right, like a track star. Very good.
And like I just love running. It's like so good. And that's like jumping, and I like picking up stuff. I don't know.
I think that's wonderful.
Yeah.
But you know what? When you get to be in high school, you will be able to probably join the track team, which means they run. That's what they do during their season, whenever it is, fall or spring. But you'll be able to do that.
Yeah.
Isn't that terrific?
Yeah, so terrific.
You'll utilize your body and your mind to control how fast you're going and pace yourself and do your best.
Yeah.
Thank you for trying so hard and doing that. Now let me come back in between everybody. Everybody getting close again. You ready? We're going to finish. Students from the Christa McAuliffe Middle School speaking about how much they've enjoyed the Run for Vets and the activities they've participated in. Are you ready? We're going to do present arms again. Right hand. Your right hand goes up to your forehead. You ready? Present arms. That's it. Looking good. And now we bring it down. Order arms. Thank you, guys. We have many veterans that were here this morning and enjoying the participation of the Run for Vets. And some of them are going around to different classrooms right now. And I was glad that I could grab onto one of our veterans, and that is Tom Crennan, Jr., and he is the commander of Post 4703 of the VFW right here in Jackson. Good to see you, Tom.
It's good to see you, Barry. So,
Yes.
you had a question for me, or?
Well, I did, but I want to share with everyone first. When I first saw you and you saw me today, you said to yourself, I think I know this person. And how do you know me?
Well, I was a student at Johnson School when you became the principal there back in the 90s.
Back about 95 it was, approximately. I was there for 10 years before I moved off to another school as principal. But those 10 years were fabulous. And do you still remember with a J, with a J, with a J-O-H-N?
Admittedly, I don't, but that's just because of the amount of things that I've had to remember since then. It seems like an entire lifetime ago that I was about that tall.
Yes. And you were that tall. I know you were just a young fellow going through the schools, but it's fabulous that you are the commander of the VFW. And again, your service, you served when?
I served from 2011 through 2020, deployed twice to Afghanistan in support of Operation Enduring Freedom.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for your service. And you're still giving because you come here and share your story with the other veterans and students here. And I guess you're going to go around and talk and speak in some of the classes.
Yes, I am. I've got 2 different classes I'm going to be visiting today to talk with the students and answer their questions.
Wonderful. It's absolutely wonderful. And my question to you is, how did you feel today about listening to the students introducing other veterans? Some were relatives and of the, like this, they were grandparents of a grandfather of a student here, or the father of a student here, or a cousin or relative, and others were just students who were assigned to speak to a veteran and find out about them, and then they could introduce the veteran. But how do you feel about a program like this and your ability to participate?
Admittedly, I feel that programs like this are absolutely critical to the foundation of this country. If you look in the news and the media today, everyone's so divided. There are so many different issues, and everyone's taking very hard stances on them. But one thing that we can all agree on is that we all have to live in this country. And sometimes rallying behind memory and celebration is what truly brings a community together. So it's important to have events like this so that everyone can put aside their differences and take the opportunity to interact with one another. I mean, it's great that we recognize fellow veterans. That is absolutely important. And especially honoring the memories of those who cannot be here today. But the best way that I feel that we can do that specifically is by going ahead and doing our civic duties towards one another, taking the opportunity to vote. Today is election day. And at the same time, treating one another with dignity and respect regardless of our political or personal viewpoints. So days like today help to make that happen by reminding us that all spectrums go ahead and step forward and answer the call when the call comes.
Beautifully put. Ladies and gentlemen, Tom Crennan Jr., Commander of Post 4703 of the VFW, the Veterans of Foreign Wars in Jackson. And I thank you so much for being with us today. That was beautifully, beautifully spoken. Thank you for being a part of today, and thank you for your service.
Thank you for yours and for the support as always.
One of our wonderful veterans that's here with us today is not only a veteran in the Air Force, but he is also a Jackson Police Department captain.
Captain in the Detective Bureau, yes, sir.
Wow, congratulations. You got promoted because when I spoke with you last, you were not a captain at that point.
Lieutenant in patrol. So I've been promoted this past July. It's been about 4 months.
And your sister, might as well share this, it's a wonderful family that works together. This is Staff Sergeant McBride, by the way, of the U.S. Air Force, and of course Jackson Police Department as a captain and a detective.
Detective captain, yes, sir.
Detective captain. That distinction means you had to have special training?
No, there was just a vacancy, and my whole career I was in patrol, but the position that became available at the time of promotion was in the Detective Bureau. The guys in the Detective Bureau are very knowledgeable and have been in the positions, most of them, for quite some time, so they don't need much supervision at all.
I got it. Just self-motivated.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I think that's wonderful. But it's wonderful, too, that you're serving with the Air Force. And you get to have to go on active duty at any point?
Not recently. I was on active duty years back for 2 years, actually, down at the fighter wing down at Atlantic City Airport. We have a squadron of F-16s down there. I do still drill there monthly. This past weekend I had a drill on Saturday and Sunday.
Wonderful that you serve, and you're serving your community by being a JPD officer, or captain, detective, captain. I can't get that right. Say it one more time.
Just captain's fine. Yep.
But captain detectives?
Detective captain, and we have 2 others, one in patrol and one in services.
Got it. Detective captain. Okay, now I got it. And I know I met your sister Maureen because she is a security person in Howell.
She's actually a police officer. She has over 20 years on right now. Yeah.
And I know I've met her and spoken with her before at some of the programs when I've been in Howell. And I do remember meeting her several times.
I have another brother who's a retired lieutenant with NYPD. Another that's also a New York City firefighter. And then my brother Patrick was also in the Navy with me after high school. He's retired now, unfortunately has a disability. And then my other brother Terrence works in the medical field. There's 6 of us.
And everybody is serving community or country in some fashion.
Yes.
That is an incredible.
A retired New York City bus driver. He worked for the city of New York, and my mother is a retired nurse. So they all public servants, so to speak, or civil service.
What a beautiful family history.
Yeah, my parents came from Ireland, so I'm first generation, me and my siblings here in America. I'm very proud to be here.
Wow. It's wonderful. And you know what? You are part of the living story of what makes America so great.
Indeed. Part of it, and glad to be a part of it, and glad to be a recipient of this great country that I fortunately was able to grow up in.
Yeah. Oh boy, do I agree with that. How do you feel about being here today and participating in the Run for Vets?
I'm very honored to be here at McAuliffe. I've been here probably 3 or 4 times for this event in previous years. It's wonderful to be able to spend some time with the children, and that's the future of the country, and to try to inspire them in whatever their passion is, whether it would be going to college after high school or joining the military or participating in the workforce in some sort of blue-collar profession. There's a need in this country for great citizens, and to enlighten children at an early age is a great way for that foundation to begin.
Well, sharing your experiences. We were just in one classroom, and I got to share mine with some of the other vets that were in there, and it's just, you could see their faces. They were riveted to what we were all saying. There wasn't anybody who was distracted. Every student really had their focus on what was occurring in front of them, the sharing of the service stories of all the veterans. We had one woman and a couple of guys, and it was just, it's such a good feeling.
Indeed.
You know, to see them be able to want to focus and learn from us.
Absolutely. We need more Americans to be proud of our great country, to be more patriotic, to stand for the flag. You know, I'm very proud to have served at 4 different levels of government here in Jackson Township, at the municipal level as a police officer, and at the county level with Monmouth County with the Sheriff's Office before I became a Jackson officer, with the state, with the New Jersey Air National Guard, and also at the federal level with the U.S. Navy. So, born on the 4th of July as well, so very proud first-generation patriotic American.
Wow.
And I'd like to see that implemented in the minds of the youth during their schooling and their early years, and the hopes that that would stay with them throughout their lives.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you. So well put. And we do work at it. I know myself and my partner, Marty Neff, who worked in this building as well and was a veteran of Vietnam. He and I have been doing programs since 1999. Marty started the POW MIA program in the Jackson schools. And I now, since I'm retired, I'm a teacher with him, you know, as often as we can get into the schools. But I agree with you. And ladies and gentlemen, it's been a pleasure. Staff Sergeant McBride, and he's a Yankee Doodle dandy, born on the 4th of July. Thank you so much. It was great.
This guy got to get up to Broadway, quick.
Oh.
Thank you, sir.
Take care.
Ready whenever you are.
Okay. Staff Sergeant Jennifer Rodriguez.
Yes.
United States National Air Force, U.S. Air Force National Guard.
Yes.
Terrific. And you're stationed where?
Out of Fort Dix, McGuire. So I work at Joint Force Headquarters, but I've also worked with the 108th Wing, which is right there, McGuire Base.
And you've been with the Air National Guard for how long?
I've been in straight since I graduated high school, so it's been almost 16 years, believe it or not. Yeah, so I've been in for a while now. Yeah.
That's wonderful. And the things that you have learned in your service about leadership and about as you gain more rank and experience, this has prepared you for your jobs with the military and with dealing with people. How is that fitting into your life and your lifestyle?
So with all the, do you want me to hold that? I don't know if this might be a long answer. So with everything I've been through with leadership training, military training, I feel like, as I mentioned to some of the vets that were here today, I feel like my military experience has opened up so many doors for me as a traditional guardsman. So what does that mean? A traditional guardsman only reports to base one weekend a month. So I have a duty to report once a month, and then basically I'm a civilian. I'm ready to serve, but I'm a civilian. So I have my full-time job on the side. I worked for the VA before. I've worked for the Ocean County at one point. And now currently I'm working as a civilian for the Army National Guard. And a lot of the training, a lot of the leadership training that I've received has really helped me really open up my eyes and really understand what it means to lead. One of the things that was mentioned, and I think you might have mentioned it, about what makes a good leader. To be a good leader, you have to be a good follower. If you don't know how to follow orders, you're not going to be able to lead others to also follow. And one of the other things that I've learned is we have two eyes, right? We usually believe, we believe what we see. So that example can go a long way. And that's one of the things that I've been very fortunate with a lot of the leadership I've had over me. They've been very exemplary. They've given me examples to follow. So I want to be one of those leaders. You know, I want to be somebody that, okay, if I'm going to give an order, I want those that are under me to understand and know that, okay, I've done it. I've been where you are. And we can do this. You know, this is possible. So that's a little bit in regards to leadership and my experience and how it's helped me on the outside.
Being in the military makes you grow up very rapidly, folks. And that was one of the points I wanted to bring out. Not just men, but for women, for young women who are willing to give of their time and willing to learn. Because when you're in the military, you really have to have an open mind about what am I going to do next and what is going to be expected of me. Can I come up to that expectation? And that's where the growth is, because you know that if you want it, you've got to grow with it, and then you pass on those skills to those that you're leading. So it's this beautiful cycle of learning and being taught, learning, and sharing. Taught, learning, and then sharing it further. And it's all for patriotism, all for the love of country, of being in the service for the United States of America. I think it's beautiful and commendable. And when you left high school, went into the military, have you ever looked back and said, gee, I should have done something different?
Military-wise or just overall in life?
Overall in life.
No, I'm very happy for the decision I made. When I came into the military, I'm actually the first woman in my family to do it. First, not just woman, first person to do it at all in my whole family. I'm a second generation, sorry. I'm a second.
We have friends passing
yeah,
by
saying goodbye. I'm a second generation. So my family immigrated here. My mom came over to the United States. And so technically I'm the first generation American for my family. So for me, I see how much this country has given our family opportunity to work, many things that maybe we may even take for granted, healthcare, our home, education. I'm a very proud Colombian as well, because that's where my family's from, Colombia, my heritage. I am proud of my heritage, but I'm also fortunate to share my heritage as an American as well. I was born and raised in the States. So the beauty of the United States, of how so many nations can come together, and we're a part of this country that gives you freedoms like we've talked about that aren't afforded in other countries, or at least not at the level and expanse, or maybe at the technology-wise as we have in our country. So I'm very proud of that. And so for me, as a first-generation American, really, it's like I feel almost indebted, like not indebted in a bad way, but like how not to give back to something so beautiful, how not to be a part of and defend something that has given me and my family so much opportunity. That was one of my reasons for joining. And then I'll be very sincere and honest. Another reason why I joined, especially straight out of high school, is I wasn't on a perfect path at that age. You know, I was a teenager, rough around the edges. I wasn't hanging out with the best crowd. I'm being completely honest. And I saw where a lot of my friends were going. And it wasn't pretty, and I did not want my life to go down those paths. So for me, as I've mentioned in my past to other counterparts in the military was a saving grace for me. And I'll be very sincere. I saw some of my friends are not alive today because of some of the crowds that they were involved with in urban communities and even out here, or some have fallen in drug addictions, some have fallen in prison. And so for me, I just saw like I didn't want my life to go down a dark path that I can't come back from. I'm not a wealthy person, so I didn't have money to go to college. So for me, I was like, this is just a no-brainer. I want to serve, give back to a country that has given me so much. And also, I just didn't want to take the chance of heading down a path that was not going to be fruitful for me.
I am usually not without words. Jennifer Rodriguez, Staff Sergeant Jennifer Rodriguez, Air Force National Guard, an American, born in America, but never forgetting our heritage. You represent the best of the best and serve for all the right reasons, because you want to give back to a country that you and your family came to. Your parents came here because the opportunity was better for them, and even more than for them, for you, for your siblings, for the family. Ladies and gentlemen, she is wonderful, and she is here today to help celebrate all that serve with dignity, with honor, with bravery. Jennifer Rodriguez, Staff Sergeant, thank you for being with me today.
Thank you so much. It was an honor. I do want to say a few words to anyone who is watching. Today's military has advanced a lot. There's so many different types of opportunities and ways to serve. We can never forget, how far we've come as a military, and the history. Always keep that in our mind and alive, because it shows how far we've come and all the sacrifices that were made for us to be here today. But I also will say that there are opportunities for anyone that's interested in joining. Military is not just about, yes, there's a part that is tactical. There is a part that is, shooting guns, getting on the ground, getting dirty, how everyone sees the military. But that's not just it. There's also jobs where we have to keep an organization going. So there's administrative jobs. There is also, if there's cooks, there's everything. Any career field that you could think of, it's all involved in the military. And every single job is important, because our structure without one piece can't function without the other. And now looking onto the future, if anyone's into computers, I know one of the biggest things that they're looking into right now is cyber warfare, as well as the RPAs, remote piloted aircrafts on the air side, and many more things. So it's advancing. The times are changing, technology is changing, and it's becoming part of our force. So if that's something that you're interested in, please reach out to a recruiter. They can let you know about more things. There's so much information online as well. There's a place for everyone in our military, and I mean everyone.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above, from the mountain to the prairies, to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
I hope that you have enjoyed today's version of This is Jackson. It's been a pleasure to be here at the Christa McAuliffe School featuring the fabulous patriotic event called the Run for Vets. And we've been doing this over 20 years. And what a wonderful, wonderful program it is, involving every student in the school, every staff member in the school. And this features patriotism. And children really do learn about what it takes to maintain our freedoms. And for our freedom, you can say thank you to a vet. And that's what it's about. Run for vets, learn about what it takes to be a veteran. And you've gotten to see some veterans speaking in the classrooms, sharing their story of their service while on active duty with our students here. And everyone gets involved to enjoy the Run for Vets. And the best part is the students absolutely love it. So take care. We'll see you the next time on This is Jackson.